Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood's Designs comes to a close. It is championship night. It's been 19 grueling races. We had playoff round. We had some ups and downs, a little bit of surprises, but we are here at the championship round at the beautiful Auto Club Speedway, 2-mile D-shaped tri-oval. Definitely one of myself and my co-commentators' favorite tracks here on the service, and it's been a bit of a staple now for the last couple seasons in the Core Xfinity Series to have the championship round here. Puts on some great races, 3, 4, 5 wide racing. It's a great place to make some passes, put on a great race, and we're going to get to talk to all our championship contenders here in just a moment. Carla, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, it's time for the championship round.
Yeah, time for championship round, one of our favorite tracks. Everything's kind of, hype up here in the booth, and obviously looking forward to see who can be victorious here tonight along the line. And as basically the numbers kind of get set back to zero, and those drivers that are fighting for the battle are in there basically racing themselves for those positions. So we'll see which one can become victorious here, as we definitely have 4 different divisions of great drivers.
It is all just on the line. There's no bonus points on the line here. It is finish ahead of your 2 competitors in your division, and you are your division champion. But we got the overall championship to discuss as well. We'll get to that a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and bring up the championship drivers here for tonight, and you see them right there. We're going to talk to each of them here in a second. We're going to bring up the Platinum Division drivers first, and that's going to be driver of the number 5, Alan Elwood, driver of the 7, Clayton Montgomery, and driver of the 70, James Scioly. If I can find it's Scioly. Where is Montgomery? There he is. So we got our 3 championship drivers here for the Platinum Division. Obviously, guys, you've had plenty of time racing around each other. You guys are all on the same team, racing over there at EDE with Simrad Markets all over the car. And you guys have been fast. You guys have totaled a bunch of wins so far this season. But it all comes down to this now. I mean, are the gloves off? Is it kind of work with each other for some of the race, and then take the gloves off and go from there? I guess, Alan, we'll start with you, because since you're kind of the head honcho over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight is there's going to be a lot of respect, but of course all 3 of us want to win. So whatever strategy kind of takes us in that direction, we're going to take. But I mean, all 3 of us, I think, are really deserving to be here. Of course, with the seasons that we've all had. So I think we're going to race with the utmost respect. These guys are great teammates, and love to have them on my team. And whoever comes out on top EDE wins, so I'm happy. But ultimately, I think it's going to be a really good race tonight for sure.
Clayton, we'll go to you next. What's kind of your outlook? You had a heck of a good season out here this season, and now you have a chance to win the championship.
Hopefully I finish one spot better than I usually do. That's the goal.
So, I mean, is there any kind of strategy coming into Auto Club? It's definitely a track that's wide open, and a lot of times you can have some spins and some wrecks off the track, and the yellow doesn't come out. So a lot of times it is plenty of green flag racing. Does it change up the mindset here at all?
I mean, really, I think it comes down to whoever's going to have the best pit strategy. The race is a little bit longer than I think the rest of the races have been. So you're going to have to throw a little bit of pit strategy in there and kind of get lucky, I'd say. Either lucky with the runs or lucky with cautions, whichever one people decide to do tonight, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, we'll start or finish last here with James Scioly, because, well, he usually likes to start last in the race. Is that on tap here tonight? Are we going to see that 70 maybe step out there in qualifying, or are you going to do your normal and come from the back?
Nope, I don't think there's any point switching it up here for this championship race. We're gonna start at the back and see what we got. I was kind of hoping it was gonna be a hotter race. Would have probably been a little bit easier to pass. This lower track temp's gonna kind of pack us up a little bit. But like Clayton was saying, we're definitely gonna have some strategy. One of the runs we're gonna have to be on old tires for a little while, so I think it'll definitely be interesting. I think there'll still be plenty of opportunity to come through the field.
All right, well, we'll keep it with you, James, and give you any chance for any shout-outs that you want to have before we start this thing.
Well, first want to shout out Alan Clayton and all of Elwood Design Esports. Really appreciate them for bringing me on this season. It's been we've had a lot of good battles. It's been a fun season, so really appreciate them. Shout out to AJ Roderick as well. I know he's going for the gold championship, so a lot of us with a lot of different things to race for tonight. Just really cool. Thanks to Simrap Market, Roderick Racing Development, Team BRS for being on the car. Thanks to you guys again for broadcasting all season. We really appreciate it. You guys have done a great job, and to the admin team as well for sticking with us. And hopefully we're talking to you guys again tonight with a nice solid run.
Absolutely, buddy. Clayton, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just about the same as James there. Everybody on the team. Elwood Designs, Alan for doing all this, putting this all together. Roderick Racing Development. You all for doing this every week.
All right, Alan, we'll finish up with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be a broken record, really. Everybody on the team, shout out to Clayton and James for being here. AJ over there on the gold side. Shane and Nico, who had really good seasons as well. Everybody on the team, really. I'm proud of everybody's efforts, and it's going to be a fun race tonight. Of course, Simrap Market, Roderick Racing Development, VRS, everybody that makes the team run. You guys up here in the booth, everybody watching at home, everybody here in the league. It's been a really good season, and hopefully we'll finish it off with a bang.
All right, guys. Well, wish you guys luck out there. We'll be talking to you, at least one of you guys, at the end of this race. So we're doing a good race for us, and we'll make sure we do our best up here in the broadcast booth, put it on there. So good luck out there. We'll talk to one of you guys soon.
Thank you.
That is your championship drivers here tonight for the Platinum Division. The 5 of Alan Elwood, the 7 of Clayton Montgomery, and the 70 of James Scioly. We'll go now to the gold division. Jimmy, we'll let you guys let you handle this as we're going to bring in our gold drivers. The 56 of AJ Roderick. We got the 61 here of Bronson Stafford, and then the 55 of Tyler Skoczen. There we go. There we go. You got all three guys in here.
Well, welcome to the booth. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again later in the race, but definitely want to kind of reach out here in the beginning and kind of wish you all the best of luck, and you know, kind of talk about your season just a little bit. So go ahead and we'll start with Bronson Stafford first, and just kind of how your season went, but just a little, just a quick glance and what you expect here tonight.
I mean, I don't know. My season hasn't been that great. In all honesty, I've kind of had a lot of ups and downs. So I'm just kind of happy to be here to have a shot in the finale, because I didn't know if I was even gonna have the points or anything with how my playoffs has gone, let alone the whole season. Barely got in with winning the last race before playoffs, and then having to outscore potentially 2 people in Nashville to get to here. So I'm just happy to be here. But I'm very happy I'm here because I love Auto Club. So this should be fun.
Well, it sounds like you're prepared here for tonight. Wish you the best of luck, but we'll move on to Tyler Skoczen. Obviously, up and down season, we're kind of in and out. Obviously, being involved in some real life stuff, and then also obviously coming back and still having enough points and being able to make your way into the playoffs here for the end of the season. So kind of here's a synopsis of your season and how you feel about tonight here at the Auto Club.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it was an up and down season for sure, like you mentioned. Yeah, it was fun getting out there trying to run against some of the big names there in the college series. It definitely has helped me kind of figure out some racing a little bit, especially when we run in the Xfinity cars a little bit. But it's definitely been something. Had some solid runs this season. Definitely I'm not going to say we snuck into the championship round here. We definitely had a lot go our way and a lot not go our way. Obviously, Texas is the one that comes to mind. We thought we had that one won, but tough deal there. But I mean, the rest of the season's kind of just been good. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of hanging in there and getting the results that we needed to get here. And yeah, should be an intriguing race tonight. Got some good competition with Bronson and AJ here to race against, so that should be intriguing. Auto Club's definitely a fun racetrack. I've always enjoyed it. Kind of had up and down success here myself. Sometimes I run really good, sometimes not, but that's all right. So it should be a good overall run here. I'm excited for the race. We'll see what we can do, and hopefully everyone has a clean, fun race, and we'll see what we can do.
Again, you know, like we said, obviously you got your hands full with some two great drivers. You know whether they think they should be here or a little bit inconsistency. You find yourself, all of you right now, kind of in the same boat. You know, being in and out, and you know, at that berm or brim of maybe breaking into the platinum division. But just seeing you drivers kind of, you know, run with the platinum drivers, and obviously we'll take it from there and move to AJ. AJ even showing that the gold drivers can even beat them and get a couple wins. So I guess if there's a caution flag, and we don't have to worry about green flag pit stops, so we're going to be maybe peeking on AJ just a little bit to come away with a winner here tonight. But it's really kind of an inside joke that, and you know, AJ's a great driver. He deserves to be here, and we want to go over to AJ and kind of get your take on your season, and you know, what do you expect out of tonight, and are you prepared?
Well, this season's been interesting. I think we won 2 more races than anybody expected me to actually win this year, so that's always good. It's the least amount of pit road penalties that I've ever had in a season, so that's also good. You know, these platinum drivers, you know, they think they're all that because of the special color that you guys put them in, and honestly, they're not. You know. You know, no offense to my teammates, or maybe complete offense. I'm not 100% sure, but you know,
you need them for one more race. You need them for one more race.
I mean, I don't need them. You know,
okay,
they're just going to cause big problems. You know, James is going to pass me halfway through the race and be like, "Ooh, why can't you keep up?" And I'm doing my best. You know, so no, it's been a good season. The way it started, the first couple races, I was greatly concerned, and then you know, once we got those couple wins, it kind of strung together a lot of really good, solid finishes, and you know, hopefully tonight's one of those nights where I can just persevere and be there in the end.
Yeah, it's definitely a little tricky out there. Obviously, off of some of the corners of one of these, you know, 2-mile tracks where it can, you know, lead to multiple lanes of racing. And you know, historically, from CRN, you know, everything's been like really great racing at these tracks. You know, Michigan and here at Auto Club have been 2 of the top tracks. We've seen some great finishes, but and we don't expect anything less here. I know it kind of looms as there's like, you know, huge updates, so hopefully everybody makes it out here tonight, so we have a full field and not just the 12 or the 12 is out there racing for just a championship. So it does look like we have more than 12. It looks like we have about 22. So from me and Carl, obviously, and everybody out there, just want to wish you the best of luck, and hopefully get the results here you want tonight. But good luck, and stay safe, and I guess we'll see you after the race, hopefully.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, before we let you guys go, real quick chance for any shout-outs. So we'll start with AJ. Who do you want to give a shout-out to?
Not my teammates this weekend. They're my enemies. But no, shout out to you guys for always doing this broadcast and putting on this league for us. Obviously, you know, we could be anywhere else on a Tuesday night, and you know, everyone chooses to be here. We've had a great car count this year, so it's been awesome. So thanks to you guys, thanks to the admin team, and good luck to my competitors tonight.
Bronson, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, just, you know, I will be thankful for my teammates tonight because I don't have to race them. Actually, that's a lie. I'll have to race Justin. Munsel's really quick, and he probably should be here more than I am, but he had an even worse up and down season than I did. So it'll be fun to have teammates, and obviously, good luck with AJ and Tyler, and see what happens.
All right, Tyler, we'll finish up with you.
Yeah, well, I guess I can say good luck to half of my teammates because that's who's here. Obviously, Joey competing for bronze right there. Good luck to him, and Jack for the rest of the season as well, all the UNOH guys. It's been awesome to run with them. Shout out to you guys in the booth for putting these shows on. It's been fun every week to rewatch after the race, whether it was good or bad for me, but fun to see how those go. All the people at home, my friends, family that watch, has seen all season up to this point, and obviously all the competitors as well. Bronson, AJ, good luck to you guys, good luck to everybody else in the race, and hopefully it's a good one.
All right, we'll let you boys get at it and get out there. We'll talk to one of you guys at least at the end of this race. That is your Gold Division drivers here once again for tonight's championship race, and it's going to be 56 of A.J. Roderick, the 55 of Tyler Skoczen, and the 61 of Bronson Stafford. Silver Division drivers, now we will get them into the booth. First one is going to be the driver of the 121, Josh Van Westen, driver of the 39, Tyler Bramble, and then the driver of the 44, Jon Nobinger. So silver drivers up here right now, and you guys have shown some little peaks here and there of speed, and I know right now you got a couple guys up there in the boards as well, looking pretty fast here tonight. But it's been an up and down season. There's been some times where you guys have kind of showed the gold drivers, what's up, and showed them, how to actually race and compete for speed. But at the end of the day, you guys are the ones that are competing for the Silver Division Championship. So I guess we'll go ahead and start with there's a nice spot here, but we'll start with the 44 here, Jon Nobinger. So John, definitely an up and down season for you, but you find yourself exactly where you want to be. Everything is out the table, and you just race for one race for the championship.
Yeah, it's just praying that it's not on the trailer too early tonight.
So,
seems like if I can make it to the end, it works out okay.
So we've obviously, we've been at Auto Club last season for the championship as well. Is there any knowledge that you could bring from the umpteen times that you've been here at Auto Club?
Watch out for that green cone and don't get the wall on 4 or 2.
All right, buddy. We'll go over now to Tyler Bramble. Tyler, make it in here, and you're running for a championship here in the Silver Division. First off, what are the emotions going through your head here, and you think you got a shot to get this thing done?
It's a lot of nerves. Hoping that I can pull through at the end, unlike with the ARCA Championship a few years ago. So, doing my best not to let my nerves get to me, but losing that battle right now.
All right, we'll finish up with Josh. And Josh, you kind of really secured yourself into this the Silver Division Championship, but you got one more race to try and get this thing done. You've accumulated the most points in silver for the season, so you lead the overall coming in here tonight. But you got the playoff championship, and you got the championship round here on tap here tonight. What do you think you got to do to get your one over here on Tyler and John?
Mainly, it's just going to be keeping the speed up and staying consistent. John and Tyler, us three have been battling all season. I have nothing against them. They are awesome drivers. I enjoy racing with them. It's going to be a heck of a show between us three, that's for sure.
All right, buddy. Well, wish all three of you luck. We'll give you a chance to give any shout-outs before we let you go back in the car, so we'll keep right here with Josh. Who do you want to give a shout-out to this year?
I'll just give a shout-out to you guys for constantly putting up with us and making sure we got a good racetrack to race on, and all the guys that continue to come out every week to put on the show for all the fans.
All right, buddy. We'll switch it up now to Tyler. Who do you want to give a shout-out to?
Shout out to my wife, who lets me get away on Tuesday nights to join you guys, and also shout out to the core broadcasting so that my parents can watch. I know they always enjoy it.
All right, buddy, and we'll finish up with John. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely you and Jimmy up in the booth. I know you'll hopefully put on a good enough show and you won't be too bored here tonight, and for everybody that tunes in and watches.
All right, guys. Well, we'll wish you luck. We'll be talking to the Silver Division champion at the end of this race. We'll see you out there. Keep it clean, and we'll see you at the end of the race.
See you.
That is the driver of the 44, Jon Nobinger. We got the driver of the 39, Tyler Bramble, and losing my spot here, the driver of the 121, Josh Van Westen. Final group we will bring in, Jimmy, you get to talk to the guys that have kind of really had some up and down seasons, and that's the bronze division. We'll have the 028 of Joey Cruz, the 216 of Joe Thomas, and then the 11 of Jon Crain.
Hey guys, John, Joey, and Joseph. Obviously, being down in the bronze, maybe not the spot you personally want to be all the time, but you definitely have had the opportunity to obviously race each other, and we've had good showings, and from all of you drivers, obviously good enough to overcome your peers and put you in the top 3 of that bronze division, giving you the opportunity to win a bronze championship here tonight. So just kind of go through and talk to each one is and kind of just let us know how your season was and what do you expect out of here tonight. We'll start with Crain first.
Yeah, my season went fairly well. I only missed a couple races, which kind of hurt me a little bit. But hopefully we'll be top 20 tonight.
Yeah, top 20 with we've seen you poke your nose up there towards the top 10 a few times here. Obviously, we know you got quite a bit of lap times. You're one of the drivers in core that has the most amount of races raced, like overall, like by a huge margin. So if you look at the Tilford statistics sheets there, you definitely would find yourself probably maybe surprised how much more you've been in the race car than everybody else. But it's obviously looking forward to you hopefully getting a great finish here tonight, and maybe walking away the champ again, and we'll see how that goes out. But before I talk to the other drivers, you got any shouts that you might want to give out on that number 11 there tonight, Joe?
I'm going to give a shout out to my family. They put up a lot with me this season, so thank you.
It's always good to thank the family and whatnot, and as you guys are getting ready to go qualifying, we'll hurry this up. Joe Thomas, definitely get a chance to talk to you and see you on the track quite often here at CRN. Obviously sponsoring Monday nights, and definitely it's always a great part to continue to see drivers not only in one league but also in another. So it's good to see you out there. But congratulations on your top 3 here. What do you expect here for tonight before we let you get going to qualify?
Well, my expectation is probably battling with Jon for second, because Joey somehow has figured out the speed and better than the rest of us bronze drivers. But yeah, that's where my expectation is, battling for second.
My expectations is second. After I seen you had a pretty good finish on Monday night, maybe expect another great night here from you. So again, wish you the best of luck, and we'll go ahead and give you a little bit of time for any shouts on that 218.
Yeah, it's an honor to be able to sponsor the Hold Your Brakes Academy on Monday nights, bring them over to the Core Racing Network, and bring on PinupsForVets.com as the title sponsor, and go over to them, help out the nonprofit however possible, along with Operation Motorsport. They're also a nonprofit that helps get veterans into motorsports, and even has connections to donate race rigs for those interested in iRacing and Assetto Corsa and others. And then just a big old shout out to you guys as well.
I really appreciate the shout outs. And Joe, you're probably in the car getting ready to go out there and take them laps, and not trying to hold you up, as we do see that you during practice you have found some speed on the track, but we also seen some inconsistencies, which I think hampers you for the most part throughout the season, which would probably tell your story of your ups and downs, as you do have plenty of speed to commingle up there with the silver and even gold drivers, and possibly even the platinum every now and then. So how's your race? How do you plan on going about your race here tonight, and possibly getting that championship?
Well, speed is one thing to have for sure, definitely. It's always good to have, but another thing that I'm looking for tonight is consistency. That should have been the name of the game from the start for me, but it's just been, I've been making a lot of mistakes since the start of the season. I know for a fact that I think there's only been 3 or 4 races of which where I've run a completely clean slate. Everything else I've been involved in a wreck. Hope to make it 5 races tonight to where I can run clean. I know I've got the speed to go out and win this championship, but I still, you just can't help the nerves sometimes, even, when the cards are in your favor and the speed is there. You never know what could happen. I know it's going to be on my mind tonight. So even though I know I'm one of the fastest guys to challenge for the bronze, I'm not going to let it get to my head. Just keep my head down, keep racing.
Yeah, definitely what you need to do. And, it's obviously if you're self-aware of it, hopefully it comes to mind when you're thinking about making that pass. Obviously, you got that speed. Don't be afraid to back out of a corner and live to the next turn. And hopefully get that 028 championship run here for the bronze and possibly even move up at least to the silver division. That's where you should belong. Probably, like I said, you should probably be a silver or gold driver in my opinion with some of the speed that you've had. But they've been consistency, like you already stated. And, and once that you're aware of it, it's something that you can work on. So, wish you the best of luck. Give you a little time for any shouts on that 028 before you let you get out of here.
First off, I'd like to shout out my family and friends watching from back home. Mom, Dad, Lucy, if you're watching this right now, hopefully I can get you a championship tonight. And also on my card tonight, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Operation Patakis. We're trying to get a spin-off series for Hey Arnold greenlit, hopefully within like the next year or so. And I've got a bunch of online friends from that server riding on board with me tonight, and some artwork of theirs featured on the car from all the amazing people that I've met there. So if anybody watching this is a fan of Hey Arnold, go sign that petition. See if we can get a spin-off from Hey Arnold greenlit in the next few years. And again, to all my friends, family who have supported me throughout this crazy racing endeavor, I thank you ever so much. And I don't think I'd be here without you guys. So let's go give them hell tonight.
Oh, good luck out there, and I wish you all the best of luck. And that'll wrap it up, folks, for our bronze drivers as they're out there proudly talking and driving at the same time. Don't know how safe that is. It's not always the safest thing when I'm out there, that's for sure. But
I mean, I held the line pretty well. I'm still driving, I'll tell you that.
Well, again, guys, congratulations. Good luck out there. I see Cruz in their P12. Crain and Thomas, you already talked about it. So you're sitting right next to each other at 16th and 17th. So good luck out there. Be safe. Make smart decisions, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
Sirs.
That is your bronze division drivers here for the championship. The 028 of Joey Cruz, the 11 of Jon Crain, and the 218 of Joe Thomas. It is time for the championship race. We got our lineup set. Jimmy, why don't you give us one final rundown for this season?
Yeah, looking at the rundown here tonight, final season, it's going to be Danny Ware and Alan Elwood on the front, out front. So it's been a little while since we've seen Danny, but obviously always good to see the number 42 out there. Shane Therian going to be mixing it in, maybe being a pain in the side there for some of them front runners, as that 09 has something to prove here tonight, along with Justin Munsell, another driver, plenty of speed, just wrapped up into a few incidents, just missing out on that championship. A few other drivers out there, Josh Van Westen, another driver mixing it up. Bronson Stafford, Tyler Skoczen. Obviously, we know they're battling each other, so see them up there on that, up there in 6th and 7th. Joe Sullivan's in 8th. Clayton Montgomery's in 9th. Kevin Foster will pull in the top 10. And then you got Tyler Bramble. And then Joey Cruz, like we talked about, is in P12. Then you have AJ Roderick fighting for that gold championship starting back in 13th, so maybe not the start that he wanted as of right now. Then you have Robert Kenny in 14th, Matthew Rodriguez in 15th. Jon Crain and Joseph Thomas will be wrapping up our spots 16 and 17 for that bronze championship. John Nobinger all the way back in P18, so maybe getting a little squirrely or pushing the car too much, starting towards the back a little bit. James Scioly, no shocker here. 70 is going to try from the rear to the front here tonight. Sitting in P number 19. You can see he has no time in. And then you have Kelly Pointer, Luis Orduna, and Datelin Drummond's out there. So 22 cars out here at the good old Auto Club Speedway for 75 laps.
And what we are going to see here from the drivers at the start, which I think is a pretty cool feature that a few of the drivers mentioned, and we thought it would be a good idea, and we'll let them get to it. We're not going to get one quick pace lap and then get to the race. We're going to get to see these drivers 3 wide, 4 deep, get all the championship drivers together in their divisions. Little photo op opportunity for all of them out there. As you see them starting to make their way up through the field right now. And I think this is a pretty cool opportunity to see all 3 of each of the divisions up there riding alongside of each other. And yeah, last chance to kind of be friendly, Jimmy. Last chance to just ride alongside of each other and not get the elbows out.
Yeah, it's you know, a little you know, shaky up there. Obviously, you just get 3 wide, and maybe some drivers have to come around in the field just a little bit farther than others. So, obviously, giving them the time here. This is something that we used to do actually quite often. You know, within the core, you know, getting the 3 wide, basically, you know, for, you know, whether it was for the military or breast cancer awareness or whatever it may be for. But we used to do this fairly often here at the core. So this is something new, or not really something new, just something coming back, and that the drivers kind of wanted to do. So it's really neat to see the drivers kind of all grouped up, get save their replays, get a photo op maybe for the front page of next season. That's just right around the corner, just after the holidays. I'm sure we'll work on that. But good old 3 wide here with the drivers. Now the fun part, Carl, getting back in line.
Yeah, they're going to go around a full lap here, 3 wide, to show everybody who's competing where, and you'll see the platinum drivers, the gold drivers, the silver drivers, the bronze drivers, the rest of the field all lining up behind them. They certainly deserved it here, so congrats to all of them out here for running well for their first 19 races, but really it comes down to race number 20 right now, and which one in each of these lines is going to finish ahead of the other 2 and claim their championship here for this evening. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that SeaRAN has to offer. We got some great stuff. I know we got a couple things coming to an end. Obviously tonight, the season ender for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. On Thursday night, the Core GT Series is going to be coming to an end as well for this season. But we still have plenty of racing. We got the Sunday nights with the 191 Motorsports. We got Monday nights with the Hold Your Brakes Academy. And then we also got the Virtual Velocity Racing on a summer break right now, but they'll be back pretty soon. Drivers are going to come out of 4 and give it one last time for all the fans here on the front stretch to see these championship drivers side by side as they come to the line, and they'll get back into line here into their positions, and we should be getting this thing underway. May take an extra pace lap here just to get everybody in their correct positions, but I want to thank all the drivers out there for definitely giving us some cool sights coming around here, and definitely some nice cool photo ops here for anyone in attendance. But it's going to be 75 laps that is going to determine the championships here tonight. Certainly a good start for some of the drivers in each division. Certainly a rough start for some of the others. So we'll see how everything plays out. Up front, it is going to be Danny Ware and Alan Elwood leading them to the green flag here, but you'll see on the tower here, only the drivers with the colors are the ones that are racing for their championships. Everybody else is in white to make it a little easier to kind of denote who is racing up there. Heck of a qualifying effort from Josh Van Westen up there in the top 5. Silver driver really putting it down here tonight, and you heard some of the drivers really liking Auto Club Speedway. I can tell you as a little teaser, it will be in the schedule for next season. Not fully done yet. Not going to say it's going to be the championship race or not, but it's going to be a pretty heck of a season. But we are getting ready to take that green flag here tonight. We'll see if we get the green flag, if that pace car pulls in. Indeed, they do. It is time to go racing here at Auto Club. And at the front, it is going to be Alan Elwood, Shane Therian, as we take tonight's green flag. Looks like Danny Ware may have issues, so he takes it into the pits. So we'll go racing into turn number 1, side by side. Elwood on the outside, Therian on the inside. Van Westen gets to move himself up there to 3rd. Again, no bonus points on the line here. It is all strictly who finishes ahead of who.
A little touch of the wall by Munson into the wall, and that's one area that we're going to need a wall. Turn number 2. Just it gets really tight really quick in some of these corners. You know, you get break loose, break free, and whatnot. But obviously drivers a lot on the line for 75 laps here. It's going to go by pretty quickly if they keep it green. But these drivers have been having some pretty good races lately, and just kind of battling things out. But Elwood out front right now over Shane Therian, but Shane Therian continues to battle now. Obviously, Alan would love to win the race, but I think the championship is more what he would like to do. But 4 wide here is James Scioly down the inside of Bramble. Joe Silver up near the wall, and then I think that was Cruz backing out there. No, it was a Cruz. That was the 34.
Yeah, 34 there, Robert Kenny.
Robert Kenny.
Not wasting any time here. I know we've seen the drivers do the cool 3 wide salute to the fans and to everybody out there at the start of this thing. They didn't waste any time going 3 wide and even 4 wide here on the track, as just on lap number 2, we already had our first 4 wide, and that is why we love Auto Club so much, Jimmy. This is why I just want to live here. I probably can. I can just find myself a place in one of the warehouses, because they disgustingly decided to shut this place down and tear it up, and now it's basically just warehouses there. But I mean, this place virtually is a friggin' blast.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could probably work out where you're the groundskeeper or something, probably. It's gonna need somebody to trim the hedges in between the Connex boxes, but you know, a good race so far. Right now, being led by that 09 of Shane Therian, so kind of showing that the 09, you know, had the speed this season in a lot of places. Just Buck did not roll that 9's way here as he's running around that 9 monster car, changing it up just a little bit. Shane always went out there to bring a very fun livery or paint scheme to the cars, and you can see trying to run away here with Munsell, another driver, just getting tied up in a few incidents that probably should be there as well. But look who's up in P3, Tyler Skoczen, another 55 gold division, obviously trying to win that championship. But you know, somebody that thought that maybe they don't belong here, Mr. Stafford, sitting in P4 as he goes on the outside. I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing. There were so many drivers that we talked to that they're just happy to be here. They felt like their seasons were kind of, you know, so up and down that they didn't expect to even, you know, be talking to us at this point. And then you can look through the field here, and you can see so many drivers that have that little white tag, and you can say, you know what, they, you know, maybe had a shot and they maybe deserve to be here. Obviously, we've seen Justin Munsell plenty of speed out here this season. You could argue that he deserved to be in the championship. Shane Therian, same thing. You go back down further through the field. Kevin Foster certainly is usually a staple to be in these championships. Kelly Pointer, if he was able to race a full season, maybe up there in the mix. I mean, so many drivers that, you know, all they have to race for tonight is pride and a chance at just, you know, getting another core win and not racing for a championship here tonight. But out front, it is one of those drivers looking to pull a bit of an upset here. Justin Munsell is on that loud pedal and pulling away here 0.4 of a second ahead of Tyler Skoczen, Bronson Stafford. Then you got Shane Therian and Alan Elwood for your top 5. As Van Westen, Cruz, Scioly, Roderick, and Montgomery rounding out your top 10. Pretty cool, Jimmy. We got all 4 divisions and even some upset drivers up there in the top 10.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking at. You know, obviously, these drivers, I think we talked about it and love it so much. I think there's a good amount of drivers that like this track, and just kind of obviously wish it was probably still around. There's a lot of good races that I've had here. You know, we talk about some of the other leagues that we, you know, obviously anybody who comes here and watches us, and you know, people are running the Gen 6 car, World A car before the new next gen, and it's definitely kind of like a flashback moment from, you know, not too long ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. It made me think about some old paints I did and people sharing and whatnot. So it was a lot of fun kind of getting that, you know, that flashback a few years ago where we started, but then also started making me think about 2022 in February when CRN was christened with its first broadcast with the core on a Thursday night with the 87s, and of all the blunders, you know, I muted myself that whole race.
There were so many trials and tribulations from the conception of CRN all the way until now. And, well, let's be honest. there's still screw ups week in and week out. There's something that's going on here with it.
They're a little more subtle.
Yeah, we just know who to blame now. It wasn't us. It was SDK. It was OBS. We got so many other ways we can throw blame. It's just like a bowler or a golfer. It's never your fault. It's the equipment. It's clearly what the problem is, but the equipment for these drivers working out pretty well right now, and you see the drivers now starting to stretch out here a little bit of a single file run here, too wide back here between the 42 of Danny Ware on the outside, trying to work his way back up through here. Was the pole sitter, had some issues at the start, and he is now trying to work his way back up through the field. He's got the 76 of Joe Sullivan on at the inside right now. But at the front, it is Munsell, and then you got Skoczen and Stafford doing battle here. Two gold drivers at the front of this field. The third gold driver, AJ Roderick. Roderick, you got to say, has kind of been the one that everyone's been trying to catch in the gold all season. Obviously, we mentioned he's got those 2 wins. But pretty interesting stat, Jimmy. You take a look at the wins for the season. We've had 10 different winners here on the season. And Austin here, actually, I believe we had, is it 10? Yeah, we had 11 different winners. That's what it is. 11 different winners, 5 of them coming from the Platinum with Alan Elwood and James Scioly topping the boards with 4 each. Clayton Montgomery with 2, and then Nico Garcia and Shane Furion each with 1. But there were 6 gold drivers that had wins here this season, so more gold drivers than Platinum drivers getting a win this season. Topped, obviously, by AJ Roderick getting 2 wins, but then he also had Brandon Mettler, Tommy Ryan, Kevin Foster, Justin Munsell, and Bronson Stafford all getting wins here this season. The one that did not get a win, that was maybe stolen from him, and it still irks him. You can hear it in his interview, and that was Tyler Scoczen at Texas. He thought he had the car to beat there, and he quite possibly did before he had computer issues that kicked him out mid-race and really possibly stole that win away from him, or he might have been the 7th different gold driver to win a race this season. But right now, they're all chasing Justin Munsell in front in that 98, looking to grab a win himself. Bronson Stafford in second, Tyler Scoczen, Alan Elwood, Joey Cruz for the top 5. Then you got Scioly, Van Westen, Roderick, Furion, and Montgomery rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, we're paying so close attention here to Justin Munsell kind of leading this race, and Stafford, Skoczen obviously battling out, just following each other, kind of like, bring around the rosy with these two. But Joey Cruz coming on the outside there, battling currently with the Platinum drivers of Alan Elwood and James Scioly, as James Scioly has come from the back, so chasing down Alan Elwood. So now Alan's kind of a nice little pressure-free, of Scioly and Montgomery, not really a thing, really warming up here now. Maybe that 5 might start to come alive as he has now gotten back around the 028 and moving forward, and Scioly's obviously following him down, but also we talked about him a little bit early, Josh Van Westen getting that fantastic start here tonight from FRC Motorsports, and just kind of right now behind the battle and just trying to, I think, just take his time. Obviously, just trying to get a good finish here. Many times, just kind of being just in the wrong spot, the wrong time here for the 121. So to see him up here getting in that top 10, just to maybe get a good finish here by the end of the night. You can see on his left, I can see on his left-hand side is the 56 of AJ Roderick. So AJ's got some work to do. They keep this up, he's gonna have to pit on the green. We didn't talk about it too much, but the pit entry here is not crazy difficult, but definitely passes can be made easier in the pits than on the tracks at times. So we'll see if Roderick is prepared here for tonight for that green flag round. I believe they're talking about somewhere right around that 20 lap kind of era, I think, for pit stops, Carl, depending on how much they save. So that would mean they got to at least 2 pit stops here tonight, or see who's going to try to stretch it out just a little bit. Are we going to get somebody back in the pack? Maybe somebody like Kevin Foster sitting there back in P at number 13 at the moment. Maybe just kind of relaxing, like I'm off the radar, nobody's going to notice me, and bam, it's going to be there at the end. It won't be the first time, definitely won't be the last time. Obviously, the glorious number 8, Kevin Foster, work his magic and find himself out front. So,
yeah, certainly
a good one here.
Elated when he got his win early on in the season here. It's been quite a while since he saw victory lane. So good to see the 8 back in victory lane this season. But he's got a lot of talent that he's got to deal with in the series anymore. I mean, there's so many good drivers up there. Obviously, Kevin good enough to be a gold division driver, but you know, these platinum drivers are just tough to compete with. But right now, 2 of them in the top 5, all 3 of them in the top 10, but they're all getting led by Munsell, Stafford, and Skoczen, all 3 gold drivers, 2 of them in there battling for the championship, as we mentioned. But it's towards the back half of this top 10 that it's still a little bit racy here. Robert Kenny on the outside here of Danny Ware, trying to make his way back up through the field here. Biggest mover of the race, well, no surprise, it is James Scioly in the 70 up to 5th position now, finally getting around Joey Cruz. Biggest mover going the other way is technically Danny Ware, after he started technically on the pole, but then he had to go to the back for whatever reason. So it unfortunately is going to go to Shane Therian, and nickname in the Discord as Powerhouse Therian, because our man behind the curtains here, Dave Tilford, puts out the Powerhouse Performer week in and week out of who gains the most core rating in the race. And so many times Shane Therian has had a good race, sometimes a great race, and somebody just has a slightly better race. It was just so many times that he kind of got snubbed for the Powerhouse Performer of the week that he earned his nickname. Did end up getting, I think, 1, maybe 2 times that he's finally gotten it, and one of them might have even been in the GT series. But either way, plugging away here, still in the top 10, down 7 spots from the start. Everyone out there chasing Justin Munsell, and yeah, Jimmy, when it comes to the fuel strategy, I was out there a little bit testing the car out, and it seemed to me somewhere around 20, 22 laps. Now, that was me just going full out there, not saving any fuel, not having any kind of drafting. Maybe you can get closer to stretching that thing out to 25. And you certainly heard when we were riding on board with a couple of these drivers, letting off the gas and coasting through these corners. So maybe that's the goal here, to try and stretch it out to around 25 and make this thing on 2 pit stops, because an extra pit stop here is really going to hurt you if this thing goes green. And right now, it's stretching out pretty nicely. That you know, unless something happens in the pit cycle, could see a lot of green flag racing here tonight.
Yeah, we already have a few drivers down, so obviously coming in the pits maybe a little bit early.
That's all I had to do was talk about it, maybe, as we are going to have our first caution, and it looks like it is going to involve Kevin Foster. We'll see what officially brought this one out.
What was that? Says he crashed. Did he just lose it?
I'm not sure what happened. To me, that almost looks like maybe a monitor or a wheel went out or something like that, and he just tried to drive it down off the track. Maybe the monitor went black, and he decided to just kind of stop. But that is going to bring out our first caution here. No contact, no spin, no nothing, but clearly it was on track, so understandable why the caution did come out. It's going to give our drivers a chance to come in the pits, but Jimmy, what this is going to do is it's going to mean we're on the 3 pit stop strategy. I don't think there's any way now, even if you pit, you know, come in again, top off on fuel, if we don't get another caution here, it's going to be tough to stretch it out on just 1 more pit stop. But I'm sure we'll see everyone come into the pits this time, going to be led by Justin Munsell.
And you can just see the tower just lighting up as everybody coming in the pits. So, yeah, who knows who's going to maybe attempt to stay out. Maybe Drummond and Crain might stay out, as it looks like they might have already been in. So that way they can get around. They'll get the wave around. They won't get the opportunity to come in for fuel, so they're going to be off cycle. So hopefully catching another early caution or something. So, in fact, if we look, up and tell when the last time they were pit in. See Crain, and they were in on laps 12 and 17. Yeah, 12 and 17. So just a few laps ago, so a little bit behind the power curve. So maybe just shooting maybe for that early undercut. But pit lane busy on the exit here as they roll out, but it does look like Munsell is going to go ahead and lead the way off over Elwood, Montgomery, Skoczen, and Pointer. Scioly back in 6th, Stafford, Van Westen, Cruz back to 9th, and Nobinger up to 10th. So big move there from Nobinger. AJ Roderick is going to be in 11th. Tyler Bramble, Therian, Kenny Ware for your top 15. Then Sullivan, Foster, Rodriguez, Thomas, Orduna for top 20. It does look like Drummond's has made it around in the pits. Can he make it back out in time? We will see. It's going to be a close one, though.
Yeah, it looks like Crain maybe going to stay out here, get his wave around to get back on the lead lap. But what I do see, Jimmy, I see a lot of different pit strategies here. I see a lot of guys that decided to just go splash and go here, maybe take 2 tires. But there's a lot of drivers that mainly just came in for fuel and did not take 4 tires. So this is going to be interesting. It's really going to start to throw it off here. Your top 3 here deciding to just get fuel or maybe just get 2 tires and see if the car went up or not. And even Kelly Pointer up there gaining a bunch of spots, grabbing just a little bit of fuel. So we'll see how this plays out now, because there's going to be a lot of cars behind them, hungry and ready to move up there with 4 tires. Tyler Skoczen going to be restarting there in 4th position. He's got 4 freshies on that 55, going to look to try and get to the lead. And honestly, Jimmy, I mean, if this thing, you know, were to go green from here on out, again, these drivers only have 2 sets of tires in the pits, so Skoczen used 1 set now. If this ends up being 2 more stops, you can only take tires on 1 of them, but that second stop, Jimmy, is probably just going to be a splash and go to begin with. So I don't know. What do you feel? I feel like the guys that took tires this time, I kind of like that strategy if it stays green. Obviously, if we get cautions, it's going to throw everything out of whack.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of drivers are thinking that, you know, I don't want to get hung out to dry, you know, down towards the end of the race, and caution comes out, and I don't have that set of tires to kind of make my, you know, basically I'm a sitting duck. You know, if I stay out and I'm in first and everybody behind me got new tires, I'm just a sitting duck, you know, like, and everybody's calling your name, come here, duck. So I'm just going to go ahead and like just not put ourselves in that situation as of right now, where they know that they're going to be out there for a little while. And maybe that another caution will come out, you know, where they take tires here, say maybe at the 40 lap mark, so then they know when they come in they won't be at a huge deficit. But Barney's got the green flag in the air, getting ready to go back to green here at the Auto Club. Away we go as Justin Munsell, number 98, heads down to turn number 1.
Good restart from the pack, and you see him already starting to fan out here. Munsell going to take the lead into 1, but question is, how long is he going to be able to hold it? You see that 70, he's got fresh tires, and he is putting them to use right now. He is already to the inside of Elwood, going to take over 2nd place. You see the drive off the corner, just absolutely fantastic. Already hunting, looking for the 98, is going to dive it down to the inside in turn number 3. This is not what the other Platinum drivers wanted to see. That 70 is out front. He's got freshies, but now look at the 55 with Skoczen blinking out, and maybe it was a good thing he blinked out there, because it could have been a big wreck. But he falls in behind at the 5 here, and unfortunately for him, Bronson Stafford, he's on fresh tires as well. He's already moved into 2nd place. You see these drivers get shuffled around here. Skoczen's going to go 3 wide, but we got a caution back here. The 7 into the wall. Didn't see anything else involved here, at least initially. No. We'll take a look and see what brought this. Actually, it looks like the 72 or the 73 here of Orduna involved in this one as well. So we'll take a look back and see what happened here. 7 getting a little tag there from the 121. Take a look at that one more time. It definitely looked like it was close to contact. Not sure if there was actual contact there or not. We'll try to get a little bit better view.
Like a netcode bump. Yeah, it was close. It was close. Like he was on the bumper, and then like netcode shot him. It looked like netcode shot that bumper forward. He was sending that 7 up in the wall. So obviously the 7, you know, one of the Platinum drivers in contention. Then obviously it looks like the 73 maybe checking up a little early. The 44 of Jon Nobinger kind of maybe getting involved. So another championship driver there with the 44 getting possibly involved, hopefully escaping the incidents here. But Orduna going for a ride on number 73. Orduna obviously one of those drivers kind of wrong spot at the wrong time a lot of times, and finds himself maybe trying to do the right thing and just executed not as like just trying to be proactive, and it ends up getting turned around. So, but we'll see kind of what happened on board here with I'm almost positive he's going to see what's going on up there.
Right there, clearly got a shot from the 44. And his hard impact into the outside wall. And unfortunately blew the engine as well, so he's going to have to tow that thing back to pit lane. Well, what this is going to do now, Jimmy, now it kind of brings that whole one pit stop left strategy back into play. And you see a lot of drivers come back down into pit road. Probably about half of the field is down into pit road. The top 11 deciding to stay out here and not pit under this caution. But, I mean, to me, I think this is maybe a no-brainer. I know a lot of the cars that stayed out did take tires, and they want to still put them to good use. They want to fall back in the pack again. But, excuse me, if, again, it just takes one long green flag run to finish this thing off, and it can happen pretty easily. We had a nice green flag run at the beginning of this race, and really we would have seen green flag pit stops had not been issues there for the 8 of Foster. But it's going to bring us under another caution here. James Scioly is still going to be your leader, but quite a few drivers coming into the pits, led by Josh Van Westen back there in 12th place. So 12th on back are the ones that came in on lap number 25 here, and they should be very close to making this thing on one more stop. Everybody in the top 11 may have to make 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think most drivers could probably, well, maybe. I mean, it's close because we're at 25, and we didn't even see whether they can stay to 25, to be honest. So, you know, I think that's probably starting to go through drivers' heads right now. Like, how far can I actually go? You know, coasting as much as possible here. You know, we got some drivers obviously trying to get to the front. They want to lead some laps. They want to win this thing. You got, you know, actually, we have 3 different contenders up in front there. We got James Scioly, Bronson Stafford, and Joey Cruz. All the, you know, gold, platinum, and a bronze driver in your top 3 there. So, and not too far behind, you have Tyler Skoczen and Alan Elwood. AJ Roderick's not far behind. John Nobinger is up there in 10th, and then Josh Westen up there in 11th. And you know, obviously a few drivers having a little more troubles. You got that's Joe Thomas and Jon Crain, and who was the other one we were missing?
We got Tyler Bramble running in 13th right now.
Yep.
Clayton Montgomery back here as he came into the pits here on lap number 25 is back there at 17th as well. Jon Crain is back on the lead lap, so we have all of our playoff drivers back on the lead lap. The only one not on the lead lap is Orduna, involved in that issue right there, and unfortunately had to tow it back to pit lane, so he's currently shown as 2 laps down. Back out there, got the fast repair and got the thing running once again, but it's going to be in control here from the 70 at the front. Going to share that front row with Bronson Stafford here on the restart. Both of them got fresh tires. Justin Mutzel in 3rd. Actually, sorry, in 4th. He's got Joey Cruz on the inside, who's got fresh tires as well. Pretty cool to see 3 different divisions leaders up here in the top 3 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And Scioly is back on that loud pedal as we head off across the start-finish line here at the beautiful Auto Club Speedway. And we've still got quite a ways to go here. We still got 48 laps remaining, but the 70 is looking to set sail.
Yeah, 70 with a huge jump, but obviously Alan, you know, maybe starting not right at the moment, but I'm sure thinking, you know, and have a little bit of concern about that 70 just kind of driving away. And he's got we know Alan's fast. He's always been fast. Scioly's always been fast as well, but Scioly has come on strong here towards the end of the season, and really kind of showing that obviously the 70's got 1 notch above maybe that number 5 pretty consistently a lot of tracks, you know. So what does Alan have in the bag there to kind of break out and you know, pull that card to figure out what to do with that number 5 to get him in front? But right now it's sliding back just a little bit, so maybe muscle in the wall. Check up there, that was right near Alan Elwood, but Alan not effective in the 0-1 of Matthew Rodriguez checking up, not getting into him, giving Munsell some room. So good catch there for Munsell. That could have been a disaster.
Absolutely. I thought for sure it was going to be, because it looked like the 98 kind of detached from the wall, and I thought it was going to shoot right down into the 5, but they work away and around it as the 121 Van Westen now works himself back up into the top 10, trying to get up through the field here. He's got some fresh tires that he got on lap number 20, topped off on fuel on lap number 25, so he's kind of, in my opinion, best of both worlds right now. Other than the driver here in the 7th, Clayton Montgomery, I know he's plenty far back right now of Alan Elwood and James Scioly, but did pit on lap number 25, so he's got the fuel and did take tires here on lap number 25 as well. So got the freshest tires in the field. He's got the most fuel in the field as well, coming in on lap number 25. So he would love to see this thing go green for quite some time.
Yeah, that way he can get some of his spots back, obviously, getting involved there, and having to work his way back to the front. But Montgomery's a great driver, and it's why he's in that championships position. Obviously, he did get the win, but he was always showing his presence known throughout the season, and just another one of those things that a lot of these drivers, especially from the SWM team, they've battled through some of their issues, but you can see Justin Munsell coming down the pits to get that car serviced and maybe work his way back around. But right now, the 98 in a little bit of trouble.
Get Munsell down into pit lane, and maybe it was too much of a bump on the wall, but certainly a good bounce back here for the 11 of Jon Crain. We've seen him early into the pits on lap number 17, kind of pit maybe off strategy, maybe thinking that a couple quick pit stops is not in the cards, as he came up quickly here on the 73, but the 11 stayed out there, got a wave around, got his lap back, and now is up there battling for just outside the top 10, currently in 13th position. So plenty back of our second place driver right now. That is the bronze driver, Joey Cruz. And Jimmy, you talked about it before the race. You talked about it in the interviews. He's got the speed to be up there with the silver and the gold drivers, and sometimes the platinum drivers will. Right now, he's got that damn 028 up there in second place, so he's looking like he's just as good as anybody else out here.
Yeah, and it's not, I don't think anybody out there is in judgment of his found speed at quite a few tracks, Carl, to be honest, but his inconsistencies, which has plagued him this season, and like we were talking there during the interview, it's what's holding the 028 back. Does he have somebody in his corner being like, hey, don't make that move yet, stop that, back off for a second, it's very hard as a racer. You just see a gap and you're like, I'm going for it, and then it doesn't work, and you end up taking somebody out. Joey Cruz has been through his ups and downs this season, and to see that, he's got speed here tonight, he's made smart decisions so far. He's got that 028 sitting in P number 2. His battle is not with, the 70 of Scioly or the 61 of Stafford. He's not affecting the race at all because he's just as fast as they are. But his battle's back in P11, so he's in second. Crain just fell to P number 12. As Clayton Montgomery has moved down to the inside there in the 11. But yeah, he's just got to make smart decisions, and if he continues to make smart decisions here tonight, he can find himself in that bronze championship, and hopefully it's turned over that page. As soon as somebody knows what they're doing wrong, Carl, if they react on it, correctly, they can find themselves in a much better space, a much better place, a much better, any part of the bronze, silver, you're still in a great group of guys, but we know that the 28 should be up a little bit farther than one of those, but now taking over the lead over Scioly.
Yeah, battle out of turn number 2, and definitely getting a little bit tight there, and he's going to end up losing a spot here to Bronson Stafford, who's going to capitalize. And that's one thing that I did notice in practice here, just getting out there and running a few laps myself. This car just loves getting tight in turn number 2. I mean, and no matter what line I was running, whether I was running the middle of the high line or even running down there at the bottom, it seemed like I always wanted to just push up there in turn number 2. I can't imagine getting any better once you get some other air mixing it up in front of you on that front end with some dirty air from the cars in front. So that's, I think, what you've seen right there is a 028 trying to make a run on the 70 with the 70 pinching down a little bit and almost got together, but they survive out of it. You see the 020 pushing up there, maybe a little bit of a scrub of the wall, but hangs on to it. Tyler Skoczen trying to get up here in the mix here as well, as he's up there in 4th. Just trying to keep an eye right now on Bronson Stafford running in 2nd. A little bit further back, our 3rd driver in the gold division, AJ Roderick, running here in 7th as he's trying to make his way up through the field. Top running silver driver is Josh Van Westen, and we mentioned it before, he came in there, topped off on fuel on lap number 25. He's the highest running driver that came in on 25 as well. Jon Nobinger and Tyler Bramble pretty far back in the field, back there in 17th and 20th respectively. But right now, we got all different divisions, again, still represented up there in the top 10, and really, I mean, all different divisions in the top 8. So, great drive from everybody out there. And I said it before, I'll say it again, this is why we love Auto Club.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Auto Club, but just I think a lot of drivers don't do it, and obviously there's multiple lanes to run. You cannot block the whole track. That's not even a thing. So, don't even try it. You end up wrecking yourself or wrecking somebody else. You just gotta, keep your head on a swivel, especially when people are coming up on you, or they, going down turn 1. If you're staying up high, expect that other driver to possibly go down to the inside. But right now, Scioly is trying to run away with this thing here. But Stafford holding at bay at the moment. And 28 maybe thinking, obviously seeing the opportunity to possibly move himself up into 1st place. He made the scoreboard switch over there momentarily, but obviously scraped the wall just a little bit. So maybe sitting in that car right now and saying, all right, let me calm down. Let me get this thing back together again and see if I can make this thing go. But Cameron Foster coming here on lap 40. So is this an early pit for the number 8? Or, it would have to be.
Yeah, it seems pretty early here for the 8, but I guess if we're going to cut this into 2 pit stops here at the end, just deciding to split it evenly here, as the 8's going to bring his car in there. The 70 Scioly still leads the way. Bronson Stafford, Joey Cruz, Tyler Skoczen, Robert Kenny now from your top 5. Rodriguez, Roderick, Van Westen, Drummonds, and Elwood for your top 10. We're past the halfway point here, so it's starting to get down to the nitty-gritty, and we're starting to get closer to seeing who is going to be our championship drivers here for the season. We did mention that there is a little bit more on the line than just the guys running for the championship here, as they also have the overall standings that they're running for. And just to give you an update on that coming in here, it was a pretty sizable lead for Alan Elwood here coming in, as he was 35 points ahead of Clayton Montgomery. Not out of the realm of a comeback there, but pretty sizable lead for Alan Elwood. AJ Roderick in 3rd place overall in the gold, but he is just a mere 239 points ahead of Jack Stone. That's how good of a season Roderick has had, and maybe should be up there with his teammates in the platinum division. But the gold is wrapped up for AJ Roderick. In the silver, it is a 43-point lead for Josh Van Westen coming in, so all but wrapped up for Van Westen over Jon Nobinger. And actually, just a correction, it's actually 66 points for AJ Roderick from him back to Jack Stoneman. Still, pretty sizable amount. Down in the bronze division, it is Joey Cruz that comes in 59 points ahead, so all but locked up there, as Dan Phelps is, I believe, even in attendance here tonight. So Joey Cruz is going to lock up that overall championship for the bronze. But these drivers are out here digging for the playoff championship here as well, and it's been a pretty good race here so far. Nice little green flag run. We'll be coming up on some green flag pit stops here pretty soon, as they've been out there for about 23 laps, and you see Bronson Stafford now right on the back bumper of the 80. the 70. The 98 coming up here trying to get one of his laps back as Munsell pit on lap number 31. So he is 1 lap down, first car a lap down, but now he is the last car on the lead lap as he works his way around there. And how about Stafford run off at turn number 2, goes to the outside, and maybe just not a good enough run to take it to the lead, but Stafford certainly is feeling frisky here tonight.
I mean, you know, he's trying to win that championship, and it's not like he's, you know, just kind of like, oh, well, let me follow around down through. 4 drivers coming down in. Going to be Scioly, Stafford, Skoczen, and the 28 of Cruz. All really good stops here. Carl, I think they all made it in perfectly fine here. I'm just checking to make sure nobody got flags. I kind of love being able to do that while you've got things covered here. But no, all good to go here on that pit stop. That was probably one of the most beautiful pit entries I've seen by 4 of the core drivers here in quite some time, and that close. But right now it is going to be Robert Kenny out there kind of taking over the lead here on that 034. So, you know, Robert's definitely had his fair share of ups and downs this season. He's going to go ahead and bring that 034 down into the pits as well. Slow him down there just a little bit. So hopefully he is able to make it in. Oh, I don't know. Fantastic dive down in there, kind of coming down to the inside as some of the other drivers being a little more cautious. Got to be easy there. Josh Fair and Westen right there in front of him. Got to kind of give room there a little bit. Josh Fair and Westen will come in to pit his stalls a little bit sooner than Elwood. So AJ Roderick getting in as well. I do not see any black flags from anybody that came in as of yet. So everybody doing a fantastic job with their pit entries and getting slowed down in time here tonight.
What I am seeing is that these drivers that came in so far have not made it to lap 50. So 25 laps is quite a long way. 30 laps is a lot longer and pretty much out of the cars. These drivers that are still out there, you got the top 5 right now. Hit on lap number 25 or even came back in and topped off on lap number 26. They're going to try and run this thing a little bit further. Maybe they can take this thing all the way to lap 50, and if they can, there's maybe a chance that they can make this their last pit stop of the race. Everyone that's already come in, I don't think there's any chance that they can make it all the way to the end. Jon Crain now comes into the pits. We got to see if Montgomery, Thomas, Therian, Ware, and Sullivan, if they can make it close to lap 50, we'll see if anybody comes in this time by. Looks like we're going to keep it out there and keep battling as we see some of the other cars working their way back up through the field. Looks like Jon Nobinger coming up to try and get his lap back, as we only have 3 cars, actually 4 cars now, that are 1 lap down. This is a big 2-mile track here, but you see the big difference in speed as Nobinger flies by the 7 to get back on the lead lap. The new tires definitely mean a lot here. Montgomery would love to see a caution come out right around now, get him in for his last pit stop of the race, get him in and out in the lead as well. But the green stays a-flying, and it's looking pretty interesting here. I love seeing different strategies come into play. Alan Elwood just ran the fastest lap of the race, so the track's cooling down a little bit. These drivers got some new tires on there. A 40.47 for Alan Elwood, and that is just a smidge faster than the previous fastest lap. That was run by Justin Munsell with a 40.50, so the track is ramping up.
Yeah, definitely a track ramping up. You know, obviously looking back at Kevin Foster, P14 right at the moment. He's one of the drivers that came in, I think, the earliest. Came right around lap number 40. So definitely, I'm sure he'll be looking probably to come in around, a little bit after lap 50, trying to stretch this thing out, knowing that, there's going to be an extra pit stop. But the 218 of Joe Thomas finally coming in there, relinquishing the lead of the the bronze division, and down to pit lane to get some much needed fuel. But that leaves the 11 out there. Looks like Jon Crain is going to go ahead and get by the 7. Get back on that lead lap all by himself as the 7 continues to stay out there. So we'll see where Crain kind of manages himself as well, as Joe Thomas is in the pits at the moment, and Cruz is right now currently in 7th after. They pit, right?
Yeah, Cruz pit. Yeah, it's only top 4 now. Clayton Montgomery peels off and comes into pit lane. Shane Therian, Joe Sullivan stay out, as does Danny Ware. So we have 3 cars that are still plugging away. And for these guys, it is not about speed. It is about save, and save some more, as they are out there running about 2 seconds slower than everyone else out there in the field. But that doesn't matter. They are looking to make this thing on 1 more pit stop, and we are at lap 51 right now. So we are in the zone where these guys should be able to make it go on 1 more stop, and they can let it rip. And really what they want is they want this race to go green the entire way. They need this race to go green the entire way for their strategy to play out. And here comes 2 of them into the pits, as Therian will actually bring all 3. Therian, where just gets it down there in time, maybe, in the 76 of Sullivan into the pits as well. It's going to hand the lead over to James Scioly, who made his pit stop, but interestingly did not take a set of tires. So will that hurt him in the long run here? Certainly the drivers behind him, Joey Cruz now in 2nd place, Tyler Skoczen, Bronson Stafford, and Justin Munsell for your top 5. All but Bronson Stafford are on new tires. There's definitely some different strategies here. Maybe some of the guys that took tires in that first pit stop electing not to take them on this one. But Cruz is looking to cruise his way right into 1st place with fresh tires.
Yeah, and the obviously the 28's got to make those tires last. Now, obviously the 70 taking a little bit of a gamble here as he is battling with Allen. So knowing that Allen has to come in, I can see a 2-tire stop in the 70s feature as he probably comes in and gets a splash of fuel. So maybe looking to do that. He did it last week, Carl. He took that 2-tire stop at the end, and nobody thought it would work. The 70 made it work. Is it something he's going to pull out of the bag again? I mean, he made it work last week, maybe again this week. But the 028 right now, trying to make those 4 tires work for his favor there, obviously, and go down to the inside. Get that 028 out in the front here into some clean air, and we'll see what he can do, and if that 70 can kind of keep up with him. So 70 maybe greatly thankful, and maybe even though he's not on the newer tires, use that draft a little bit, Carl, to maybe help pull him along.
Well, that's what I thought too, but he's looking to the outside already, maybe looking for a pass, but now the 028's going to use those tires and just break away and try and run away from this field. Good battle back a little bit further in the field now, as AJ Roderick is going to battle with Jon Crain. This is the battle for 10th position. Both these guys on newer tires. I think Crain is actually on, I'm kind of wondering, maybe both of them on 2 tires here. They both had pit stops around 10 and 11 seconds. Usually 4 tires is around 14, 15 seconds. So not sure what's going on here with 11 and 56, but both coming in on lap 46 and 45 respectively. Both not going to be able to make it to the end unless they're in super save mode. Maybe that's why the 56 is falling back right now. Going to try and make this thing last all the way to the end. But up at the front, Joey Cruz completes it. I believe we've had a driver of every division lead at the race here now, as the bronze driver of Joey Cruz out front. James Scioly in 2nd place, leading the platinum drivers. Tyler Skoczen in 3rd, leading the gold drivers. Alan Elwood now trying to sneak up there and catch up to James Scioly for the platinum lead. Josh Van Westen is leading the silver for now, but Jon Nobinger right behind. And how about this? Leaders into the pits. This will be their final pit stop, and making a short pit here is James Scioly, Joey Cruz, AJ Roderick coming in as well. So not wasting any time coming in here early. This thing looks like it's going to go green, and maybe this is the chance where they can come in, take their last set of tires, and that's not a good pit stop there for Cruz as he blows through his stall a little bit. Looks like just fuel here for the 28, but this could be the deciding factor here in the race for some of these divisions. Alan Elwood now leads here in the platinum division and overall here in the race. Justin Munsell looking to the inside to try and get back on the lead lap here as he made his final pit stop already as well. We have plenty of drivers out there that need to make a final pit stop, and really the top guys out there right now all do, as the top 7 all pit around lap 45 or earlier. And even with Kevin Foster right now in third, he's seen him pit very early on lap number 39. He's going to have to come in probably first before anybody else. Kelly Pointer right behind, pit on lap number 40. And is that a pit road penalty for Joey Cruz?
Might be. I didn't catch that one, Carl. I wasn't even looking because they kind of snuck down the pits there. I was just watching, just kind of amazed they came in early there. But that there with the length of time could be the mistake that the bronze drivers needed. The 11 of Jon Crain and the 218 of Joe Thomas. Definitely, could be, we talked about it, and, just a mistake. And obviously had everything going well for the 028. Now finds himself in a bit of a deficit. Obviously in a good situation because he's out there. And he's already done for the going into the pits. He can make it the rest of the way. But the 11 of Jon Crain is currently sitting up there in P number 6 and on the lead lap. So he's got to be smart as Elwood now comes down in here on lap number 59. So calling it here early, trying not to get undercut too much. Tyler Skoczen. John Nobinger goes sideways. Go back up the back. Oh my goodness.
That was close. Almost John on John crime right there. Almost back into Jon Crain. But Crain just makes it by as he comes in to make his final pit stop. Jimmy, this is everything we wanted and more from a championship finale at Auto Club. We've seen all kinds of different leaders out here tonight. We've seen a bunch of different strategies. We're still seeing all these strategies play out. We had a couple cautions kind of right in the midst of things as we now see another leader come into the pits. Tyler Scoczen brings in the 55 for his last pit stop. It's at the situation right now. We're coming down to the final 15 laps very soon. I have no idea whose strategy is going to work out here tonight. I mean, maybe you guys out there in Sierra Nation know what's going to happen. Maybe you guys have a better prediction than we do, but there's so many different strategies here when it comes to tires, when it comes to fuel, when it comes to who's pinning and when. This is definitely throwing me for a loop, and I'm sure some of you out there as well. But I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. Thank the sponsor here for the series as well, Elwood Designs. I mean, this has been a fantastic championship finale. Right now, Kelly Pointer leading the way. He's got to come into pits here very soon. Clayton Montgomery leads the pack that came in on lap 50 or later. Can they make it to the end? I can tell you right now that Tyler Scoczen pinning on lap number 59. He is good to go to the end. He is up there in 6th place. Now, he only took a splash and go. So can he hold on with the tires? Because Bronson Stafford pit on lap 56, and he got tires. So this is going to get very interesting here. Clayton Montgomery should be good to go. I mean, we've seen guys get there, 25, 26 laps on a tank of fuel. He pit on lap number 50. So by all circumstances, it seems like he may be able to make it to the end. Kelly Pointer now is going to bring in the 75. So Montgomery is going to take over the lead. How much does he need to save to get to the end? Right now, he's got a 4-car buffer and a total of 18.5 seconds in between him and James Scioly, who's currently running in 6th, about to be 5th.
It's about a second a lap that he can lose, Carl. So it's definitely a big chunk for Scioly to overcome Montgomery. He's got to save. I mean, he's definitely got to save that fuel to make it the rest of the way. And we're going to see some big chunks come down. You're going to see that thing kind of close down. Alan Elwood sitting in 3rd. Let's see, they are all non-championship drivers between Montgomery and Elwood. But back there in P8 is Tyler Scoczen sitting in that 8th position, just in front of Stafford with the newer tires. So obviously maybe Scoczen keeping a set for maybe later in the race, but might be shooting himself in the foot. But it looks like that 61 should be able to drive around with that number 55. Tyler Scoczen. I'm sure Tyler will try to battle as best he can, but you can't battle too much as there is still 12 laps remaining here. So you never want to lose that, but they also then come back into for the silver division. You got Josh Van Westen sitting in first for his division, but MP number 11. AD Roderick, third overall, or third for the gold, back in P number 13. Jon Crain sits in P, the first spot in for the bronze in P number 15. Now, plenty of fuel to make it, but not a lot. Yeah, there's plenty of space between him and Joey Cruz, as Joey Cruz had that massive penalty holding him in the pits. Definitely not what the 28 wanted to see here after such a great run, Carl. It was like you're rooting him on, like he finally did it, and it has that small mistake there in the pits that's going to cost him so much time. But either way, Crane's got the opportunity. He's got about a 5-second lead over Thomas, and could find himself here the champion of the bronze division after having some pretty shaky races and just kind of sneaking his way in here at the end.
Well, I mean, Crane is, he's, in all intents and purposes, he's got this thing pretty wrapped up. I mean, bearing a late race caution here. Yeah, he's got Joe Thomas now right behind him technically, as he's about 4.8 seconds behind him. But Thomas has got to save. He came in at lap number 49. He's got to make it 26 laps to the end. I mean, maybe he gets lapped here and he's only going to make 25 laps, but either way, he's still going to have to save a little bit, so he's not going to be able to run up on Jon Crain. Joey Cruz is good to go to the end, pitting at lap number 55, but he's 24 seconds behind the 11 of Crain, who does not need to save at all. So this is going to get very interesting, but it seems like Crain has got this thing in the right spot at the right time. Bronson Stafford is your leader in the gold now. He's moved up to 7th place and now trying to move up and pass Joey Cruz here on track. They were battling for quite some time for position at the front. Well, Joey Cruz steps on another tack here, and maybe the tack was a little too high coming into the pits, getting a pit road penalty, and very well could have cost him not only the championship, but a realistic chance at winning the race here tonight. It looked like he had a very fast number 28, but it's not going to be tonight. Clayton Montgomery leads the way. Again, he pit at lap number 50. How much fuel does he need to save? He's still got a bit of a gap and some developments as well. Alan Elwood has gotten around James Scioly, as that is a big pass for the 5, and we'll take a look at how that pass happened here on lap number 6. Just set him up, got a good run out of turn number 4, went down to the inside, and not sure if Scioly, thinks he's got a save or what the case is. They both got fresh tires. Elwood 3-lap newer tires, and maybe that is just enough to get it done here, as we'll take you back live here. Elwood in 5th place, but he is 6.3 seconds behind Clayton Montgomery. This time by, it's going to be 7 laps to go, so can Elwood gain a second per lap to catch up to Montgomery? I can tell you right now, he's on pace for it, because Montgomery last lap around 42.83, Alan Elwood 41.33, 1.5 seconds faster is the 5. Time will tell, but right now we got a little battle for the lead anyway, as Joe Sullivan, he's got 1 extra lap of fuel. And man, we haven't seen the 76 up front in quite some time, and he is looking for the lead.
Yeah, looking for the lead and possibly a win here. Obviously doing a fantastic job saving fuel, being able to put himself in the situation for the opportunity. Obviously still have quite a few drivers back there hunting them down. As they got Shane Therian back there, got Danny Ware, and then you got Alan Elwood as well, and then obviously James Scioly is still falling back, so not quite sure what's up with the 70. Maybe tag the wall somewhere along the line, Carl, with slowing that 70 down, but definitely the 70 had tons of speed here tonight, but it is now falling on the 5 of Alan Elwood to close this a massive gap here over the next 5 laps, so down to 4.5 seconds. Not so much of basically a change. That was like 0.8 that lap, so a little bit difference because he's got some traffic to deal with as well. So it's a shame there we got to run him around, but the 05 has plenty of room. Just got to learn how, obviously knows how to use the track, get his advantage. But it's going to take a little bit of time, so passing some cars, and that could weigh in the benefits here of the 7 of Clayton Montgomery. So you just kind of keep watching this thing kind of unfold here as Alan Elwood is creeping his way up through the field here. Now get ready to get interval down to that 4 seconds with 3.5 laps to go. So it's definitely going to be a close one. You know, kind of obviously you kind of root for the underdog a little bit, and I think the underdog right now is Montgomery, you know, being that he might run out of fuel. So and then, you know, obviously Joe Sullivan right there as well. And Joe's not going to roll over just to, you know, to let somebody by. He's going to be out there trying to win this thing as well. So it's going to be a good one here, Carl. I think we'll come down the end here in just a few short laps.
I mean, the lap before, only 0.5 of a second was gained from Alan Elwood to Clayton Montgomery, and that lap by, same thing. A half a second is all Elwood gained on those last 2 laps. It is 4 laps to go here. It's still 3.5 seconds, and you take a look back from the back bumper here of Clayton Montgomery. You see Joe Sullivan right there battling and challenging for the lead. You still don't see, excuse me, Alan Elwood until right there. That is Elwood trying to reel him in, but the time is running out. 3 laps to go here in the season. The sun is setting. You hear the car engine shutting off into the corners. The question is here, Jimmy, I mean, if it gets to it, does Montgomery benefit from just letting Joe Sullivan go by and maybe drafting here a little bit to save any kind of fuel that he could battle Elwood with at the end?
I think Joe Sullivan's kind of in the same boat, making sure he's got enough fuel, and I think another spacer in between him and this finish here and possibly the championship is going to be big. Almost 2 laps to go, down to 2.8 seconds as they make their way around. So lap 74, next time by will be the white flag for Clayton Montgomery. Can he pull off the upset here? Probably not the favorite, as James Scioly obviously has seen the massive speed. Alan Elwood been super good all season long with so many wins over his competitors. And then you got Joe Sullivan up there trying to spoil as well, trying to get himself a win. He's not going to, I don't think the 76 is going to lay back. I think he's saving fuel just like the 7 of Clayton Montgomery, but Joe just hanging on there for a great finish. You know, not trying to get involved here, but here they come to take the white flag with a 2.5 second lead. Clayton Montgomery had the fuel to make it to the finish.
Last lap of the season, last 2 miles of the season, battle for the lead. Joe Sullivan looks to the outside, just doesn't get the run quite yet. A little tight, so he's going to have to back out of it. Do they have enough fuel to get this thing to the end? It is still plenty of a gap to get back to Alan Elwood and get this thing done, but it's all on fuel mileage right now. Clayton Montgomery into turns 3 and 4. Sullivan still right there. If there's any kind of sputter, he will be able to get by him, but out of 4, Clayton Montgomery is going to get not only the win, he's going to get the championship win here tonight at Auto Club as he runs out at the line. And we had a 0.07 second gap in between him and Joe Sullivan. Bronson Stafford is going to get the win in the gold division as he comes home in 7th ahead of Tyler Skoczen. In the silver division now coming across the line is going to be Josh Van Westen getting it done. And how about this? Jon Crain getting it done here in the bronze division. Brings it home in 15th. He was talking about just being happy with the top 20 here tonight. Well, he's going to be a little extra happy. He's got a top 15 and a championship to boot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, John was just out there saying, I'm just going to go out there and do the best I can and get myself a top 20. I mean, he did a little bit better, but he got there up there in P15, just ran your race, probably maybe got concerned there for a little bit when he went a lap down, but was able to fight back, get back on that lead lap, and, you know, needed a little bit of help, and Cruz gave him that assist there and made, you know, that mistake that, you know, the Crain much needed in order to kind of take that away. I mean, sure Cruz is going to be thinking about this one for a few long weeks until the next season starts up, as he had an awesome run going here. He deserves a great pat on the back for the attempt here. And, you just hope that, obviously, I'm sure if it doesn't, weigh on his mind now any more than any other season, is practice, pit entries and stops. It's so important. It's so important.
We're going to get our championship winners here in the booth here in a second. Unfortunately, not going to get a burnout from our Platinum Division champion, as Clayton Montgomery used every bit of his fuel and then some to get all the way to the end here. Kevin Foster burning it down as he does here at the end of the season. Josh Van Westen, he's a little bit happy as he is your Silver Division champion here tonight and burning it down here on the AAA on the front stretch here. Man, Jimmy, can we just come back to Auto Club next week and the week after that? And, well, okay, we won't go 3 weeks in a row. We'll go to Michigan that third week and just go back and forth. It's just every time we come to these tracks here at Michigan Auto Club, it puts on such a damn good race.
They need to have more 2-mile tracks. That's all I got. I mean, these layouts and the ability for these cars and the drivers to run multiple lines, be able to exercise different pit strategies, fuel strategies, tire strategies. I mean, it all works here at these tracks. We've seen it time and time again for over the, coming up on over 3.5 years now. So it's just, Carl, these tracks never fail to put on a great race, no matter what league we're with, and it just it just kind of leaves you guessing down to the last moment, or the finish is really, really close. I mean, we talked about it, and we didn't talk about Montgomery very much, and he was kind of way behind. And the talk of the show was James Scioly as he came from the back and took the lead, and then Alan Elwood kind of fell back, but then Alan had the speed, and here he comes, and just runs out of time just a little bit, and just not enough tire to catch Clayton, as he had a really big lead on his pit strategy. So unable to make that up, unfortunately, but huge shout out to Alan for sponsoring the series this season, and obviously, as I'm sure he's happy for his teammate, would be a little bit happier if it was himself. But definitely a great run, and showing by all the his teammates. So yeah, it's good showing for everybody. And how about Bronson Stafford, man? He was up here. He's like, I just barely made it in here. Like, I don't even know what I'm here, and finds himself winning that gold championship. So just a awesome part. We've seen John Van Westen, celebrating down there. You can tell when people are happy. Wait till you get them in the booth. You're going to hear it in their voices. And then I think Jon Crain's a little shocked. I bet he'll be a little shell shocked what just happened, and he was able to come away the champion for the bronze division. So congratulations, everybody. Thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks all the viewers. There was a ton of people out there. Kelly and Bishop and Jack Stoneman, Dave Tilford, Barry as normal. I already said Kelly. Bacon. Ty C, Gabby C, Cater Johns, Chris Hamilton, Rodericks. Just can't thank you all enough. Right? We really do appreciate y'all coming out and supporting the drivers. And if you haven't already, I'm gonna nudge you to hit that thumbs up and give all these drivers that thumbs up that they deserve.
And at least for Chris Hamilton, he got one pick right. He got Jon Crain right with his picks there, as he picked Alan Elwood, Tyler Skoczen, John Nobinger, and Jon Crain for the respective championships. So he got 1 out of 4. So at least there's something. But I do want to thank our sponsor here once again, as Jimmy mentioned. Elwood Designs, they've been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012. Specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles, they can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simwrapmarket.com. You can also find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or X. And I can say that for season number 6, Elwood Designs will be back out there as the title sponsor as well. So definitely thank them for this season. Thank them for next season as well for hopping on board for season 6. And going to be a little bit of a break in between here, probably about a month before the season kicks off. We got some special events mixed in for next season. We got a little bit different schedule, and it's going to be a fun one out there. But we're going to wrap this one up here tonight. Jimmy, before we get into the interviews, why don't you give us a final rundown of tonight's race results?
Yeah, final rundown of tonight's results here. There's going to be obviously your winner here and the champion platinum drivers is going to be Clayton Montgomery. Coming in second, the number 76. Great showing here by one of our fellow, he's been up here in the booth a few times, Joe Sullivan in number 76. Alan Elwood will bring home P number 3 here in second for the platinum drivers. Finishing in third, Danny Ware with a good showing out here tonight, finishing in fourth here tonight. Then in Shane Theory, another good finish here in the top 5. Man, Shane's gonna break through one of these days, man, and get some just a string of wins. I know he is. James Scioly, a tough break there after coming from the back to the front. Still the biggest mover of the race, but finishing in 6th place here tonight. Bronson Stafford, your winner of the gold division, finishing in 7th. Tyler Skoczen, not far behind, finishing in 8th in the gold for the gold division. And then Kelly Pointer, another contender here for the other drivers out there, finishing in 9th, up 11 spots. So good run there for Kelly. Kevin Foster, a fan favorite out there. Still good run for Kevin. Not the win that a lot of fans out there probably wanted, but finishing in 10th. Justin Munsell, after having some troubles and getting out front there for a while, finishes in 11th. Josh Van Westen will finish in 12th with the silver win. Tyler Bramble will finish in 13th, not far behind. AJ Roderick finishes in 14th tonight for your gold drivers. And then Jon Crain, winner of the bronze championship, finishes in 15th. Robert Kenny in the 034 finishes in 16th. Joey Cruz, like I said, I want to give my hats off to Joey, getting that to 028 to the front. And I almost want to apologize for him for having that mistake and it costing him maybe that bronze championship. But even something maybe a little better here for Joey, looking for that win here. So, but he'll finish in 17th. Jon Nobinger, after spinning in the pits on entry, getting the black flag, puts him all the way back into P18. So John just kind of having some incidents here and there, and probably not the way he wanted to finish off the season. He might be joining us up in the booth next season. Matthew Rodriguez will go ahead and finish in P19. Joe Thomas finishes in 20th. Luis Orduna will finish in 21st, and Dalton Drummond's, he didn't take the track, did he?
He did.
Okay, he was out there for a little bit, but finishes in 22nd. So, he was 29 laps down. So, but I want to, like I said, all the drivers, this goes to y'all. We hear it from everybody every week. Hey, we appreciate the broadcast. We appreciate y'all showing up, so we have somebody to broadcast. And we appreciate the fans out there that support y'all. So definitely a great showing this season. Can't wait to see what's on the table for next season, as it's still in the works. Some tricks up our sleeve. I'm sure Carl's a master at putting surprises in there for people. Maybe we get some rain tires on a road track or something.
Please give me the option. Please give me that option.
But definitely looking forward to the season. We'll be here, and we'll get these I guess the champions in here, and the top 3 are part of that. So I guess we'll talk to a bunch of people here tonight.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with our top 3 as we usually do. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and that's going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. And Alan, I'm sure you're happy to be up here. You're happy to be talking to us at the end of the race. You're happy to be up here in the top 3, but man, just coming up a little bit short here, and fuel mileage just barely works out for Clayton there. But you were making one heck of a run at the end.
Yeah, I tried. Tired of this stuff, to be honest with you. It's really frustrating. I felt like I played my cards exactly right. I should have won the race. And Clayton, circumstances just, you get involved in a wreck, and then there at the end, the way, being in the back, being able to just put around to save fuel, wins you the race. So I don't know what else to do. I know I'm going to sound salty, but I am salty because I lost the championship. So Don't really know what else I could have done. I like I said, I thought I played my cards right, but that's the way this format goes. You lose a championship on fluke stuff like that, so it is what it is.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a tough battle just for you to get up there and pass your teammate James Scioly. And I know you had 3 lap newer tires than him, but was there an issue that maybe we missed here on the broadcast for the 70? Because it seemed like he really started dropping at the end.
I think it's just the tires. There's a really drastic fall off after like, I don't know, 10, 12 laps. The right front just completely goes away, and the way that I pitted a little bit after him was just enough for me to have more tires than him there toward the end. I don't think there was any issue. I think he just the way the cards were dealt. But yeah, no, it was just as the run went on, it got really tight. So I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit more tire there at the end than him, and if it came down to him and if the other guys ran out of fuel, that I had enough to hopefully, if we also got to a green white checker situation or something, that I just had that enough tire at the end to hopefully have an advantage.
We made one heck of an effort here. You get yourself a podium. You tried everything you could to get up there at the end, and maybe you had the best car here in the Platinum at the end, but just coming up short. But you get a 3rd place here tonight. A great season overall. I know you come up a little bit short in the playoff championship here, but you get yourself the overall championship in the Platinum. So at least it's a nice little consolation prize heading into the next season.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's what makes it hurt even worse, to be honest with you, is knowing that you won the overall championship and you don't win the championship at the same time. It's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. I got a couple. I can't complain too much. My teammate won, so I'm really stoked for him. He's been rock solid all season. So if anybody deserves it, it's him. So hats off to him and the strat that he played, and he played it exactly how it should have went.
Well, we'll let you get out of here and celebrate the overall championship, and I know we'll see you next season, and we'll have some fun for sure once again, as Auto Club did exactly what we wanted here tonight, and put on a great race, and you come home with the P3, so congrats on that. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just hats off first off to the team. Can't really ask for any better performance than what the team did this season. Everybody E to E put their best foot forward, and super proud of everybody. I know AJ came up short in the gold, but he tried some strat that just didn't quite work out. But again, hats off to Clayton and James. Everybody. Glad Danny came out tonight. Shane, everybody, just rock solid effort from E to E, VRS, Roderick Racing Development, Simrap Market, everybody that makes it happen for us, and everybody involved with the league this season. I know we had some rough races, but also some really good races like tonight. So hats off to everybody. It's really really exciting to be here, and looking forward to next season as well. I think it'll be even better. But just hats off to everybody for making it a good season, and now we get some relaxation time.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the little summer break here. I'm sure we'll see you back for season 6 and digging even harder to try and get that championship. But we'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next season.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. 2nd place, Jimmy, is going to be the 76 of Joe Sullivan. I figured it was going to be, just him being up here in the booth to broadcast with us to get him back up here. But somehow he gets up here with the top 3 here tonight.
Somehow. How about that, huh?
Hey, Joe, Jimmy, and Carl in the booth. Welcome to your second home. You're always welcome here. But one heck of a race here tonight. Obviously, not doubt in my mind that you're going to try something. You're always there. You're always kind of a threat, and you're still looking for that little bit of speed to run up there with a lot of these drivers. But when it comes to fuel strategy, you sure do pull some things out of your hat, and you almost had it there at the end as the Clayton Montgomery sputtered, and you had to kind of go around him on the outside to avoid getting into him. But a great run here at Auto Club. Kind of give us maybe a little rundown and share your strategy with everybody and how it all paid out for you here tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of odd the way that the fuel runs were going and how many laps we had. So it was going to be that extra pit stop. So I was going to, immediately was trying to find a way to not get that one extra that everybody else is going to have to do, running hard up front. So just kind of cruising the back there. And then once we got to around, we got that caution with like 50 to go, I was like, all right, we can probably chop this up here in 25s, because I knew I could stretch it to probably that 24, 25 mark. And those last 2 runs. Which pretty much clutched it every turn, every lap, and was able to stretch it on that first run. I could have went another lap, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not at least attempting it, but I came down with Shane and Danny. We were all running together there, and I had an extra lap, but I went ahead and pit with them just to stay with them and maybe keep their draft. But I came out like 5 seconds ahead of them because I only took 2 tires, and they all took 4, I think. And then I kind of just caught Clayton really fast, so I didn't know how much he was saving. And at that point, I needed just to save a little bit extra because I didn't have anybody to draft off of, so I was like super saving at that point. And then I was going to wait till like 1 to go and try to make a move, and then I went to the outside and it just plowed. So that was my my weak attempt to try to get the win there, but it was about all I could do. I had to save just a little bit extra fuel too.
Yeah, it was definitely a valiant effort, and you kind of, when we were watching Clayton, obviously, and you can hear him lift, and obviously we're like, all right, he's saving. So Joe's not just driving around him, so he's probably saving too. And obviously waiting just a little bit longer. Maybe not showing the nose to see how that car reacted a little bit sooner, but I'm sure you'll keep that in your belt for next time. Again, it was just a fantastic kind of result here, seeing the 76 being able to finish in that second place here tonight. Obviously, the end of the season here with the Xfinity season, and definitely look forward to seeing you back out there next season after the holidays, of course. But wanted to give you say congratulations on the awesome run, awesome strategy, and give you a little bit of time for any shout-outs on at number 76.
Yeah, definitely didn't plan on having a shot to win here tonight, but I'll gladly take it. And if there's fuel strategy, I'll try to find a way to make it happen. But yeah, just thanks to everybody for racing. Everybody, all the drivers out here tonight and all the season, and you guys up in the booth put on a great show. Just week in and week out, just good racing here on Core and on CRN. So just excited to keep on moving and see what happens next season. Maybe I can find a little bit more speed, and get up front with these top 5 guys. It's a whole nother level up there, so we'll just keep looking. See if we can find something.
You're definitely at the edge of breaking over, from one group to the other. So I wish you the best of luck. Again, congratulations on the finish here tonight, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, Joe Sullivan. We'll finish up our top 3 and start our championship talk right away, and it's going to start with our winner here tonight, not just in the race but in the Platinum division as well, the 7 of Clayton Montgomery. Clayton, I know coming to the end there, battling with Joe Sullivan, you didn't necessarily need to get the win, obviously, to get the championship here, but you got it by a huge 0.07 seconds as you sputter at the line.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Understandably.
That just kind of rolls into his pre-interview call. He's like speechless. He's like,
a man of little words.
One better place than I started. I mean, you did finish 8 spots better than you first started.
Talk us through the idea of the strategy. I mean, obviously you came in there, kind of early race and stopped one more time. And it really kind of set you up for the rest of the race and being able to stop one last time there on lap number 50. But how much were you saving? We did, obviously hop on board with you a couple times and heard you, kind of just coasting into the corners. But how much was fuel saving on the mind?
Oh, well, I don't know what lap it was, but whenever me and the 121 got together, my plan went to shit real quick.
That's right. I forgot about that part of it too. Yeah, you got set up in the wall.
Yeah, I had a plan of pitting, not taking tires the first pit stop, and then running to about 37, pitting, run 20 more laps, pit, and then take tires on my last 2 pit stops. After the contact with the 121, the only thing I could think to do was I was going to have to clutch and save every single lap, and that's what I did. I think with about 10 laps to go, I saw that the gap between me, I think it was Alan and James, was around that 6, 7, 8 second mark, and I was keeping pace right at however many laps we had left is about how many laps of fuel I had left. So I knew that I just had to keep doing what I was doing. I was hoping the 76 would pass me. I didn't want to slow down too much and give to where if I did run out, I was hoping I could have just enough to edge out Allen, because really, honestly, at the end of the day, that's the main thing, was just trying to beat them. And it just so happened to be that when I crossed the line on the last lap, I think it said I had 1.2 laps of fuel left, and I was like, if I'm going to go for the win, went this far. So I drove into the corners a little bit further, and by the time I hit the restart zone, it started sputtering, and I was like, oh, good Lord.
Well, at least you didn't get run over, because something like that can certainly happen as well if the 76 wasn't ready to make that move, like he did dive to the outside at the end. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of wondering that. I even mentioned that on the broadcast with about 3 to go, wondering if that thought crossed your mind of maybe just let the 76 go by, draft him a little bit, and help you save that fuel to the end. But you didn't need to. You had just enough to get the win here tonight, get you the win in the Platinum playoffs as well. So congrats on both the victories here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here and celebrate, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to you guys who do this every week. Everyone on the team, especially Alan, who put the team together, got all of us together, does all of our paints all season. I know he gets asked a lot to do paints. James, AJ, Shane, everybody on the team, been really fun. And then all the sponsors we got, Simrat Market, Roderick Racing Development, VRS, things that make the cars look cool and go fast.
Absolutely, you were the fastest out here tonight. Maybe not so much at the end, or even really throughout the whole race, saving all that fuel, but it was enough to get you the win here. So congrats again. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll hopefully see you next season.
All right, thank you.
That is your winner here tonight overall in the Platinum Division Championship, the 7 of Clayton Montgomery. Now we'll start bringing the other ones that are maybe just absolutely shocked to be talking to us once again. And Jimmy, we'll start with our Gold Division champion here, the 61 of Bronson Stafford.
Hey, Bronson, Jimmy, and Carlton, booth to copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Mr. I don't know why I'm up here. I shouldn't be in the championship. Hey, great run out there. 61 had some speed. Even found yourself in the top 3. Even good looking for the lead. So I mean, the 61 had some speed here tonight. You showed and performed great. Obviously, finishing. You couldn't mess around too much, as Tyler Skoczen was definitely hot on the heels. Pretty much the entire race, finished right behind you. In 8th place here tonight, but still 2nd in the gold division. But yeah, you get the win, the championship here for the gold division for this season. So, from CRN, we want to say congratulations first, and give you some time to kind of explain, how your race was and how it all unfolded for you here tonight.
First of all, thank you. It was a good race. I felt really good on long run. I think it showed the first run just as the caution came out. I was starting to run down Munsell. We gapped. Skoczen was 3rd at the time. We gapped him, and Allen and Scioly weren't really making up any ground on us. So I hate that caution came out. Kind of was who's going to do what here type of thing. We went with tires. I know a couple guys didn't. And then we got the quick caution off the bat, which kind of hurt us because it just kind of, let them run more to their pit window kind of thing and not be much of a gap, which I think without that quick caution after the first one, I don't think you would have seen Clayton and them saving the fuel kind of thing. So could have probably still been at least top 3. But I also have myself to blame for dropping so much time on green flag stops to James and Allen. I pretty much figured out once Skoczen was on, he took tires on the caution and then tires again on that first green flag stop to then not take any on the last stop, I think, or something like that, or he took 2 or something, one of those weird ones. I took tires, no tires, so I had tires on the last stop and could just run hard, and that ultimately got around him and got the win on it. But on green flag stops, I was ahead of him both times, coming into pit lane. well, not the second time actually, but like I wasn't too far off of him type of deal, and I was just like I didn't need to race Scioly and Allen, so I was like I'm just gonna go really really easy in pit road and probably gave up like 5 seconds at least both times, and just to no mistakes, don't need to pull an AJ and mess it all up there, and. I feel bad. I never saw him all race, actually. I'm kind of sad. I don't even know what happened. I heard he took 2 and it didn't go great, but it's kind of a shame. But it was fun with Skoczen, with Tyler all night. We ran good, literally, 7th and 8th, and it was like 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 3rd at points and whatnot. But it was a good race. It was good racing. I was surprised Clayton and them saved like 5 laps of fuel in total or something like that. Kind of crazy. I didn't think they would be able to do it, but I mean, hey, it worked out for Clayton, because without it, I think Allen would have got it, because it didn't look like James had anything for him at the end there for Platt. And then I'm not even sure what happened in silver and bronze, but it sounded like it was pretty close all throughout.
Yeah, a lot of the fields were pretty close. Some self-inflicted wounds for some of the championship drivers. I guess I guess the biggest one, probably the 028, the bronze driver, Joey Cruz. That guy was on fire, and I made obviously a crucial mistake. And I wanted him to like do super well here tonight, and obviously wasn't unable to clutch that. But getting a lead here for a while, that's impressive by somebody that's where you kind of think of a bronze driver. They're in the back, and he was out front. So obviously there's a lot of improvement for him, and obviously a lot of you drivers can see that out there, and you can each week you see the gold drivers getting a little better, and then everybody's kind of like pulling in those platinum drivers just closer and closer each week, and it's just like a small threshold that everybody just kind of needs to step over. But I think everything here overall, everybody raced great tonight. The battle between you and Tyler, we kept watching it, coming down on the pits and, seeing if anybody got any flags and how close they were going to be, and if anybody's going to make that mistake. And you come out the winner here for the gold division, and you are the gold division champion. And so it's good to see that somebody that thought maybe they shouldn't have been here actually won. So I like to root for the underdog a lot. And it just it's cool when they get the opportunity to come out the victor. So again, congratulations on your gold division championship. And we'll before we let you go celebrate, we'll let you give some more shout outs on that 61 here before we let you go.
Yeah, just the Sky Motorsports team. We had Matt Rod here tonight with us too, running around. I think he didn't have a great finish, but I'm not sure what happened. I think he got damaged at one point. Kenny, I think, ran out of fuel in the last lap, and then Munsell was having to save fuel the whole last stint. So I think it was the only one that didn't have any problems in my race from the team, which I guess if anyone was going to do it, is the championship contending one. So like that's good at least. And then obviously just everyone in the race tonight was good. It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was good racing all throughout. Like you were saying, it is so close now. It felt like throughout the season it got closer and closer. I think Auto Club's a good track for that too, though. Everyone's usually pretty good here. Kind of like Charlotte and stuff too. Tracks that people are always good at. So it's good choice for a finale kind of thing. Worked out well that way. And obviously you guys for broadcasting, adminning, all that stuff. It's been a good first season. If I've had an up and down season, I didn't think I'd be there. Curious what it would be if I was actually happy with how my season went up until the end of it. So, but yeah, either way, it was good fun, and excited to see what happens going forward.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the shout outs. So we look forward to seeing you next season and what that 61 can do. And obviously, as you get comfortable around the drivers here, I think that shows a lot too. And anyways, I wanted to thank you and say congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That is your gold division champion here, the 61 of Bronson Stafford, getting it done with his 7th place finish here tonight. Top spot in the silver is going to go to the 12th place finishing 121 of Josh Van Westen. And Josh, I think what we're gonna do, kind of going forward for the championship, guys, is you were one of the guys that we talked to that was kind of a little coy about your chances of winning here tonight. But I think we're just gonna send every one of you guys a little bottle of champagne, so that way, the drivers that don't get it done, they can just drink their sorrows away. But the ones that can get it done, send us a little picture or a video of you popping that champagne and spraying it all over the place, 'cause you got to be excited as hell getting the Silver Division Championship done here.
Yeah, man. I felt pretty good going into the start of it. I know Jon and Tyler, they're both fast. We're all fast. We've raced against each other all season. Tyler really picked it up towards the end of the season, and even at the end of the race with about 15 to go, 10 to go, I was watching him through the relative, and he was just getting closer and closer and closer. And him and I were talking. I think we both agree if he had a couple more laps, I think he would have gotten me. But it was a great race. I can't be disappointed at all. Everybody raced really good. Jon and I got into it a little going into one. He had a good run on me, but we were able to save it, so no harm, no foul. But I like I said, I can't thank you guys enough for everything you guys do and everybody that races with us week in and week out. I wouldn't want to race anywhere else.
Well, I mean, you, like I said, you kind of seemed like you maybe thought you had a chance here in the beginning, but you kind of proved it right away in qualifying. You put that thing up there in the top 5, and that's not easy to do anywhere, in this series because of all the talent that's in here. But you were feeling it right from the start.
Yeah, I was watching some of the other fast guys. I was seeing what they were doing, where they were running, and it's like I can do that. So I just sailed it off into one, and she stuck. So there we were starting P5, and I needed it. I needed to start away from Jon and Tyler as far as forward as I could to have any chance.
Well, it worked out, and you may be listening to some of our preachings up here in the booth. We mention all the time, you can't just run around guys that are as fast or slower than you. You're not going to learn anything. You got to get out here and mix it up with some of these guys that are faster, and you can learn a little bit by just going to school, watching what they do, and that's exactly what you did. It worked out to a T here tonight. You get yourself the Silver Division Championship win here. You get yourself the overall as well, so it's kind of a clean sweep here. And the silver, it was a little tougher, obviously. Just the one race championship here tonight, and Tyler Bramble did come home right behind you in 13th, only 2 seconds back. But it's got to feel good to finally be done with this thing and finally know that you're crowned not just an overall champion, but the playoff champion as well.
Yes, sir. And on the bright side, no broadcaster jinx, especially from last season.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Well, congrats again on both the silver championships here this season. We'll let you go celebrate and get ready for hopefully a defense in season 6. But before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I just want to give a shout out to my family. My fiance, she deals with my pain in the ass of racing 2 to 3 nights a week, and my kids for being good and sleeping most of the night, and then thankfully for the 6-month-old baby not crying all night, so that was a great blessing. And then just a shout out to you and Jimmy, giving us a good race, giving us a good broadcast, and everybody else that races in Core to make Core what it is. And like I said before the race, I'm having so much fun racing here through the highs and lows. I wouldn't want to race anywhere else.
Oh, we love to hear it, and we appreciate all the shout-outs for sure. Congrats again on the championships here. We'll see you in season 6. Give you a little summer break here and plenty of time to celebrate.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
That is your Silver Division overall and the playoff champion, the 121 of Josh Van Westen. Wrapping it up is a man that I feel like we haven't talked to in quite some time, and maybe the biggest shocker of them all here, the 11 of Jon Crain grabbing the Bronze Division Championship.
Hey, John, Jimmy and Carl in the booth, man. It's great to have you back up here. It's great to see that 11 kind of come out victorious. Definitely been a rough season and a few races. As you know, I've been trying to get out there and mix it up. Like I said, you know, was no shock that you know, that number 11 has the most race entries, you know, of any of the core, the current people inside core. You've been around for a long time, and obviously still working on honing on your craft. Obviously, always upgrading gear and trying to, you know, see if little things like that can help you get more consistent. But I think that's kind of what paid off here tonight. We've seen some early entries. You went a lap down. You were able to kind of fight back and get back on that lead lap, and overall just keep your race going forward and not make too many mistakes after getting that lap back, and that kind of led to where you're at here tonight as the bronze champion. So I mean, I kind of maybe summed it up really quick for you, your whole season in the race, but we want your view and how you did tonight, and how the season kind of went for you, and you know, what's your goals going forward after tonight?
Yeah, tonight about 9 laps left in the tank. I felt like I had the right front going down, so I went down pit road, and then the caution came out shortly after. Fortunately, I lost a lap. Luckily, I got it back right then and there. And then that second short caution that came back out, I was able to go back in the pits, top off the tank. And when everybody started coming pit road, I noticed I had about 9 laps more. So I just kept pushing it as fast as I could. And yeah, I got lucky there at the end, though. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, you know just as good as I do that a little bit of luck sometimes helps to have on your side for a lot of these races. You know, obviously there was a close one there. I think it was Jon Nobinger kind of getting sideways. I think it was you.
Yeah, it was.
Jon Nobinger got sideways in the pit lane and decided to put it in reverse, and I thought for sure you were gonna T-bone him. I was like, no, and as he just made by, I'm like, oh my goodness, like you had me holding my breath and like saying no. You know, it was just kind of a sight to see as we caught it on the camera. It's you know, things like that make you gasp, and you have to kind of keep going and don't get wrapped up on it too much, you know. And you've been there, I've been there, as you know, you get wrapped up into something that's not your fault, or you know, we're out here just enjoying our hobby, and you make a mistake, and you know, it sucks. You know, you ruined your race, you ruined somebody else's race, and you just kind of put your head down and keep going forward. And you keep doing that each and every week, and very consistently, you know, fighting your way back, you know, through some of the bad races to getting enough points to kind of get into the championship run here at the end. And overall, you know, you show why you're here at the end, you know, with your peers, you know, finishing here at the top. So again, we would just want to say from CRN and everybody out there, congratulations, seriously, on a long season, a tough season, and give you a little bit of time for any shots you might have in that 11.
I want to give you a big thank you to you guys, Carl and Jimmy, for putting on this broadcast for us each and every week. I know it's a lot of time that you have to spend with us, and it can be annoying at times, but you managed to deal with us. Also want to shout out to the sponsor, and also a shout out to my family once again.
Yeah, always, you know, you have that supporting family, and that's what keeps us going each and every week. We really do appreciate the shout outs here, but it is on you drivers to show up each and every week like you do. To put on some good shows for us to provide to the family out there. So again, congratulations from CRN. Congratulations on that championship. Hope to see you next season. Continue your march forward. Maybe roll out of that bronze division. We'll start working your way up into that silver division like I know you can. And yeah, just looking forward to it. So again, congratulations. I'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
You too, John.
That is your bronze division champion here tonight. The 11 of Jon Crain getting it done. He wanted to get a top 20 here tonight. He's going to have to settle for a top 15 and the championship. It's been a heck of a season here. All 20 races were a blast, as they always are here on CRN for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. Again, going to be taking about a month off here, a little bit of a summer break for the drivers and for us as well. And then we'll get back to the racing action in July. And again, it's going to be a full slate and a good season that's in the works right now, and getting all set up for season number 6. I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in here tonight. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. For myself and Jimmy from the beautiful Auto Club Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.